You already know it's the Dutchy Garage Show. Mhm. This is what we do for you. FF, you on the stereo. And my man Karat is in the booth. Decided to sing for y'all. What's going on? It's your boy Duchess. Here with your man Karat in the booth. How you going?
I'm about to double over laughing from that intro. Holy cow. That is quite a welcome back into the booth. It's good to see you all. Welcome to the Final Fantasy Randomizer weekly race here on Randomania Prime. As you just heard, Dutch was your lovely songster for today. I don't have the singing chops, so I'll just stick to regular commentary. I'm Karant. It's great to see y'all this evening.
Likewise, super excited as y'all can tell. It's gonna be a fun race indeed. I'm already seeing some wacky sprites on the screen, so whoopoo!
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have our featured runners, you notice, are Caleb, Kirito86, Luffy DeVital, and Grindylicious, but we have about, I believe, 15 people running this week, so it's going to be quite the show. If you want to talk about flags a little bit, I'm about to drop the gate and let these guys get underway.
Well, the interesting thing is, I decided to come into today's race completely blind. I have no idea what the flags are. I have no idea what they're running, but the weeklies are always something spicy and fun to bring to y'all. So as soon as he drops the gate, I will actually shirk this responsibility back onto Karant, but I will definitely be able to fill in serendipitously as soon as he fills me in.
All right, so the load gets on my shoulders. I'll take it. All right, so there's a few things that are going to be interesting about today's flags. For starters, this is a shard hunt, so we are going to be looking for 32 shards tonight. The encounter rates are actually fairly hefty for a shard hunt. We have, as you're about to see if somebody goes into a weapon or armor shop, we have Blurst on, so we have that's blessed and cursed weapons and armor. I see we have Invis in the White Magic shop, and Ice 2 and Temper in the Black Magic level 1, so we'll get a decent sweeper to start out with.
Got some lamp as well.
Oh, of course, the memes. Hey, we have to keep the memes. Speaking of memes, we also have cake there, too, so if anybody wants to have themselves some delicious dessert.
And it looks like we've got some blessed items as well, because we've got some cheap chain 2s, which is definitely good to start out with.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, so we've got some pretty good armor and decent weaponry to start out at the beginning here in Canaria. Of course, Canaria has to be at least semi-kind. Mostly. Usually.
Usually. We are actually, it is semi-kind indeed in that, there is Temper, there is Ice 2. Ice 2 will wear off towards mid-game, but I mean, to start off, you're not going to ask for anything more than that, to be honest.
Right. All right, so everybody's entering Topher. Luffy went straight for Garland. Everybody else is going to explore a little bit.
Falcho 5.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very good sword to start out with because the blessed element of this means that falchion has greater hit rate, critical rate, and power. So that's a good sword to be carrying around probably till about mid-game, I would guess.
Except you have defense 1 right there. Ooh, that is definitely nice to see.
Absolutely. So we got ourselves a decent collection of weapons. That defense 1 will be good for. Oh, we have Kirito with a party of fighter and 3 red mages. Grindy is rocking the brave fighter black mage double blank strat. So we'll see how well that works for him.
Exactly. Luffy going in. Oh, we're gonna get a cube, and a black 3. Can't beat that, to be honest. Your cube is nice. Obviously you're thinking, oh, am I gonna get the lucky floater? Definitely not. But at least you got a black 3. That's something to use as well. So
that is something else actually worth noting about these flags. There are 4 dud locations in today's flag set.
That's interesting.
Turns out Sarah's one of them.
Now, what's going to make this flag set particularly peculiar is because there are 32. Oh, look at that backwards. Look at. Oh, I've never seen it in my life. Oh my gosh. Sorry I had to do that to y'all. I just seen a man walk backwards like I've never seen before. Goodness gracious.
Oh,
But what's going to be just completely destroying the meme game for y'all. This is new territory, at least in my eyes. But in saying that, what's going to be interesting about this flag set is because there are 32 shards that they need to get. You're not going to be able to sacrifice many spots or many places, even if you have to, keep banging your head against something that seems, I guess, unbelievable. You're still gonna have to do it.
Yeah. The good news is, though, this is not as unkind of a flag set as in some of the ones that we've seen run before. All the entrances, all the towns, everything is where it's supposed to be, which is nice. So, at least we don't have to worry about mapping all that out.
Exactly.
What will Provoca bring us today?
Well, looks like Luffy is taking on those pirates and is going to invoke the power of that Black 3 shirt, which is definitely good in regards to AoE damage. And since Luffy has a Black Mage, once it gets promoted, that'll be their best armor as well. Well,
Absolutely.
Outside of a gold bracelet or opal bracelet, at least.
And there you go. Gave them some cake, and they decided to give into crack. So everyone's gonna level up to level 4, and we're gonna get the herb today. Alrighty.
Now, that's good for the fetch questing because you're going to head over toward Elfland anyway after you get done here. So, hey, might as well drop off a little vegetable or two.
Mm-hmm. And it also feels good to see cabins as well. Not finding any save items in, Quinaria or Provoca is not the best feeling, to be honest.
No.
I don't care what flag say.
No. Because then you're risking some potentially serious monster mashing and losing all that time. And granted, it's only been about 5 minutes, but it's still 5 minutes.
Quad X, Lock 2. I also saw Mute and I believe Wall. So I'm going to pick up Mute just in case. You never know. Definitely going to get some Wall in my life.
Yeah.
Quad X and Lock 2 are necessary.
Oh, yeah.
Quad X, not so much, but it's going to have a lot of use early game. Lock 2, absolutely necessary.
Absolutely. Alright, so looks like Luffy's heading out of Provoca, and I expect the rest of the runners are going to be doing so pretty quickly too. And I presume Luffy's probably going to run up and check Matoya's before dashing down to Elfland, because, again, we are looking for all those shards, and, I guess Matoya's as good a place to start as any, since we didn't find any in Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, exactly. Checking boxes is optimal in this type of seed, so...
Oh, yes.
Boxes.
Now, it is worth noting also, of course, with any shard hunt, you can also get shards by killing the fiends. If you kill Lich or Carry, you get 2 shards. And if you kill Kraken or Tia, you get 4 shards each. So you can get up to 12 shards by killing the fiends, and since we know where they all are because we didn't shuffle any entrances around, it's a pretty... well, at least relatively easy step to get some of those shards, so you don't have to get all of them out of boxes, but still, the more you get out of the boxes, the less fiends you have to kill, conceivably.
That's very true.
That's interesting, picking up an extra lock. But you do have 2 black mages, so I don't necessarily begrudge that from Caleb. As you see what White Magic presents life! There we go. Also, shout outs to Heal 3 in our lives. You know you need it. You can't beat it. Yeah, and we also have the herb, so this will be another check, and this will turn into the canoe. There we go. So we're going to have some progression. Things will open up to us in terms of the map, etc., etc.
Oh, yes. This opens up a lot of travel opportunities, so this, I kind of suspect, is going to be where we'll probably start seeing a little bit of divergence from the runners, because the canoe opens up all sorts of places, so it's just a question of where you want to go from there. And it looks like Caleb was headed toward Crescent Lake, I believe, before he got interrupted by arachnids.
So, I'm curious as to why Caleb didn't necessarily check what level 4 had. Because if you're missing out on maybe, Fire 3, Lit 3, Nuke, Fade, you're like, oh, maybe I should get some money to get that. So, that's interesting. I don't think everyone's going to necessarily miss out on seeing what level 4 is going to have for us. So,
yeah. Well, I know, just from my own example, I guess, is If I don't have the money, I kind of don't want to know because because I'll be able to sort of set a reminder for myself, say, hey, I haven't looked at level 4 yet. And it'll remind me in pretty firm terms to make sure that I come back. But that's just me personally. I don't know how other runners will take it. Of course, looks like Luffy is looking and found. I saw Cure 2 and Pure. I didn't see much else. We got Warp fast.
And fast. Warp could be pretty useful, but Expert, that's what it was. So you don't feel necessarily too bad on missing out. Cure 3, Expert, combined with that mute from earlier could be a play later if the bosses are brutal.
Yeah. I did see some Lit 3 at level 6 from Caleb as he picks up his adamant from the old men.
All right. And I mean, this is actually pretty smart. You know, in these type of siege, you want to get your key items out of the way so you can get that incremental experience growth. So then when you start grinding, start hitting, you know, those dungeons, et cetera, you're going to get the most bang for your buck.
Right. And this week, that XP bonus is 5% per key item. So it's not the biggest bonus ever, but it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, as HC Baker puts it.
It's additive, so 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, all of it adds up.
Absolutely. As we get Luffy heading in, I want to say good evening to everybody in chat. Folks like Gregory Puff and LCB saying hello. And it's good to see you all. Thank you all for joining us this evening on the weekly race on Randomania. Good to be back in the booth.
It's great to be in the booth with you, mate.
Yeah, I've missed calming a little bit. Just I don't want to hijack too much from personal space, but it's the last few weeks have been rough, but it's good to be back and kind of in the saddle and energetic again. So.
Exactly. We all love you, so we're super happy to have you on this broadcast to the world.
Hey, Randomania Race is a great way to get back into the swing of things because we've got everybody swinging around the circle here. Let's see, Grindy has made it over to Matoya's cave and finds a bridge.
Nice.
I'm
we
not
need
sure.
that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how we stuffed a bridge in a box, but I mean, hey, it works.
And these things happen.
Yeah.
We can literally transcend Chime via warp spell, so I don't think it's that hard to, stuff a bridge into a little box.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I mean,
bag of holding was a thing back in the day, so.
Yeah, we are also talking the elements themselves being stuffed into 4 glass balls, so yeah.
That is very much true, so.
Alright, so Kirito has made his way over to level 5, where we see not much. Well, Harm Force.
Ruse. And also that Ruse. I mean, for higher, for the seeds where the bosses are going to be brutal, Ruse is definitely, I think, something that you can't pass up. Lock 2, if you can find a really good level, and Ruse, where in maybe a kind of vanilla-ish seed or one that's not too brutal, you can pass Ruse up, but I don't think in a seed like this you can do so. Because if Topher is ridiculous, you're going to want something to just absorb all that stuff up,
Yeah. Well, the good news is, at least in these flags, the bosses aren't clamped at any, ridiculous percentage or anything. This is a sort of an easygoing siege, so.
Oh, that's nice. It's just a sword hunt then. Well, then there we go.
Yep.
Correct. Oh, Caleb, why'd you do it?
Yeah, we've got the guillotine going, and we also have a floater going.
Yeah, that floater is super nice to see.
And he promptly guillotines the Hooray Dwarf another couple of times. Oh, here.
Well, shout outs to Caleb for bringing us the memes. We all love it. It gives us a chuckle in our hearts.
Oh,
but I'm always sad to see Hooray Dwarf go, to be honest.
Well, the good news is, even with an NPC guillotine, he just keeps coming back. So it's simply
that's true.
We're simply shifting him off set for a moment. He gets to take a break and relax in the director's chair for a few seconds.
Indeed. And that Genie problem saying Bridge in a Box TM is Acme Co.'s most popular product, Indeed. However, I surmise Wile E. Coyote might have an issue with using his trademark, so, just freely as you do, but that's neither here nor
Well, I was going to ask how many quantities of it that Wile E. Coyote's purchased over the years.
there. Ooh, peas.
Oh, hello. All right, so we got some XPing on Kirito's side, and Caleb is about to get airborne at about 13 minutes and 15 seconds. So there you have it, I suppose.
That opens things up a lot. That feels great.
Oh, yeah, especially when you don't have to worry about entrances being in weird places. So you can just kind of go, okay, so here's this and here's that, and let's grab key items as fast as our back walking selves can get them.
Now that's awesome to see as well. Kirito did manage to take out those EX speeds, so automatically up to level 8 across the party, which is great.
Nice.
You got some extra charges under your belt, buy some houses, make some moves.
Yeah, and houses are awfully cheap this seed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Caleb going to go turn in the crown to our old kindly King Ostos and gets himself a big Rosetta Stone for it.
I believe I just saw a gold bracelet on Kirito's screen. I don't know how much for though.
Oh, hello, Fog 2 and Invis 2. So basically, pick your poison as far as your white mage mitigation.
So Fade and Nuke seem to have rolled level 7 and or 8. We can't have all the great things in life, but that's okay.
Apologies to Kirito and Grindelicious' parties.
As they say, it be like that sometime.
Yup.
Luffy is flying around the world. Gonna go see old mate Sarda.
Yep, so he's gonna pick up his crown and turn it into a rock.
Yep. So right now we're just going through the standard. Everyone's gonna get their floaters pretty soon. Clean up as many, key item checks as they can. And then I'm sure we'll get to a point where there'll be major divergence. Someone will go to volcano, someone will go to ice, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's this, at least with an early floater and the early canoe, is set up to be a pretty jet seed this evening. So I think we'll be able to get this in and hopefully not keep anybody much past their bedtimes except for Kirito, who's getting trance out the wazoo, apparently.
Armin van Buren coming in extra strong today.
Yeah, so it would appear. Gregley Puff asking, is this the Shard Hunt flags? Yep, we are looking for 32 of them, so I have a feeling one of the places our flying runners are going to visit very quickly after getting their key items down south is probably going to be, say, Cardia.
Yep. Easy checks.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're looking for all those treasure shards, you want to find as many of them as you can in as easy a position as possible.
Absolutely.
And Jay Scheidel mentioning in chat that the gold bracelets were 8,000 gold, but not as worth it, I suppose, because they are unfortunately gold -4. So, yuck.
I mean, it's not the greatest at all. It's not the greatest at all, but it's still good. At 8K, it's still good armor. It's just not as great as it would normally be. So
it's not living up to its potential.
It's Gohan, unfortunately, in Dragon Ball Super, but that's a whole other thing.
Spoilers! Alright, so Caleb checking out the caravan and finding no key items there, sadly, but some shopping. You can do some shopping if you wished. But now he's going to go down toward Lefane and I'm assuming he's translated that slab, and get the item from it. So we'll see what the Lupa Lupas have in store for us today.
Old Lupa Lupas. And we are going to the Marsh Split on Grindy's side, which is nice to see.
Oh, yes. Decent sweeper spells for at least the Ice 2 for the Black Mage. So hopefully can handle, if any of these battles end up becoming particularly pernicious, hopefully he'll be able to get out of it. But that two-man party always, at least for me, is a not quite new runner, but ish runner. I don't have the stones to rock that party that he's got.
Two man is
I'll just come right out and say it.
the 2-man is definitely a veteran strat. I do like the chutzpah of using the 2-man strat though, because you can roll it if you know that it's just trash magic in the beginning. You're gonna have a 30-45 second disadvantage in the beginning, but that always evens out towards the end of the seed anyway. So I don't mind necessarily going in on a 2-man, because with Ice 2, you're gonna siphon enough, like they're both level 9. So you're gonna siphon enough like charges to get through. However, I probably would have rolled with the red mage. That's just me if I would do a 2-man. But that's neither here nor there. Was black belt available? Probably not, right?
Yes, black belt was available, and actually
Wow.
Oh, and the slab turn in is another dud. It's one of the shards, but it's another dud. So we've got 2 of the 4 dud spots already. It is worth noting a small detail on this evening's flags. Usually when we run a Final Fantasy randomizer flag, we click a button that says have the black belt critical rate, which makes it to where the black belt is not quite as super duper holy moly Goku punchy. But this time we didn't click the box, so the black belt's critical rate is equal to his level instead of it being, or I think it's maybe level times 2. But anyway, it's the normal crit rate, which means if any of them had taken a black belt, they could have punched all dang day long. But with the XP sort of being as it was, none of at least our on-stream runners chose to take a black belt.
I'm always of interest of taking a black belt, even if EXP is not so great, just because if you go in with, say, a 3-man strat, the one thing I appreciate about the black belt, for better or worse, you don't have to worry about equipment. So, yeah. You're going to sacrifice that in the beginning, but later on, you can go ham.
Yeah. Caleb making his way over to Gaia, and we see that both Nuke and Fade were at level 7, right next door in a Obliging Magic shop, so...
Aww. Yeah, I mean, look, you'll get a charge or 2 in these in this seed. Given the parameters, you're probably not going to hit level 40s unless Topher's a real nuisance, so...
Yeah.
But you'll get out of it.
Yeah, and these flags are not really set up for Topher to be much of a nuisance, so yeah, it's understandable that the runners chose what they did.
Well, Ice 1. That's a great sword.
That is a very good sword, so until
Ice. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, until you get to the more well-known swords, the super swords of the world, yeah, Ice 1, especially Ice as a positive sword, is a very good choice. Grindy going down into, I believe that was the basement of Swamp, and finding a ruby.
Yes, indeed. As Caleb found the bottle for sale, actually, for 12K in on-rack.
All right. Well, there you go. So, I mean, it's a good place for the bottle because you're right next to where you're going to be using it.
So it looks like Life 2 must have rolled level 8 then as well.
Oh,
that's a doozy, unfortunately. I mean, they have life at level 3. I haven't seen Cure 4 though, so that also isn't the greatest. But you have Cure 3, I think, at level 4, so you can make do with Cure 3, Heal 3. I think Heal 3 was what, level 2. So you have life.
Heal 3 was level 3 along with life, I believe.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, you wish they weren't sharing the same charge, but you can definitely make that work without an issue. You just wish you had Life 2 and Cure 4 at your disposal, but who doesn't?
Right. Oh, yeah, I know. All right, let's see. I'm just looking back up at the spell list here. And yeah, we have not seen Cure 4 yet, so alas. Oh well, that's all right.
Granny's doing pretty well with this 2-man party, though. To be honest, I mean, haven't seen too many wipes, and that's surprising with just a black belt and a knight.
Yeah,
but I think the knight is gonna get that level 3 life because it's the first slot, so that's actually pretty serendipitous.
Yeah, that is, and I believe all of our on-stream parties. Well, actually, can't tell with Luffy because Luffy I think has some dead party members, but I believe pretty much everybody has fighters. So yeah, once they get promoted, that will definitely be a good thing to have. Caleb trying to get through the waterfall and unfortunately finding that the gas D is, well, being pretty darn gassy, I guess. And
Yeah, Gas D doing Gas D things.
yep.
Ooh, but got away. And thankfully, it's not a procedurally generated waterfall.
Yeah, exactly. They know exactly where they're supposed to go there, too.
You know, because otherwise, getting bodied in the nose is the worst. Because it could be right next to you and you never know it, or it could just be the most ridiculous grind.
Yeah. So for folks who may not know what we're talking about when we say something like that, there are a metric ton of options with the Final Fantasy Randomizer that make it pretty darn amazing to be able to change just about anything you can think of. One of them is the layout of the waterfall and also the maze at the top of Sky Tower. Both of those can be procedurally generated, which means that basically the game will just kind of make crap up. So it can give you a waterfall where all the lovely, wonderful loot is pretty much right next door, or it can give you where you have to basically traverse the entirety of the Eurasian continent to be able to get to it.
Both have definitely happened. Both have been yeah, I mean, there have been times where it's like, yes, you just walk to the right and it's right there, and then sometimes you're just gonna get bodied by gas Ds, ice dragons, etc., etc.
Yep.
It'd be like that.
Yep. We have seen plenty of that in many of these seeds.
Getting a silver 4, soft. Ooh, some 3,000 gold from our boy the robot. And a heal.
That would be Dead Location number 3.
Oh, that heal staff is that sucks. You wish it was at least a heal too, you know, so it could hit everyone, but heal is garbage.
Alright, so Grindy turning in the ruby and is going to pop a quick cabin real quick just in case the Titan's Trove is a dud, or any of the enemies he runs into on the way are duds. But it does not appear to be the case quite yet, as Luffy makes his way into the waterfall as well. He's having fun with gas Ds, because who doesn't?
Exactly. Mama always said, have fun with gas Ds.
Well, your mama might have. My mama was.
We did find a katana, however, Grindy would not be able to use it. Luffy, however, has a thief, so that'll be nice for him.
And I think I also saw an Aegis shield in there, if I'm not mistaken.
It's 5, I believe, so that's super dope.
Yeah, that makes our 4th dud. No, Titan's Trove is not incentivized, so never mind. That is not a dud. That is just good old-fashioned looting.
Exactly, just great armor in a great and serendipitous spot. Grindy, unfortunately, does not have the floater, it looks like. Or they might have parked actually, maybe they just parked the floater. I don't see the floater icon, so they don't have their floater yet.
Well, I mean, still obviously able to do a lot in terms of gallivanting about, but I'm guessing Grindy has not yet been to Crescent Lake, because that's, of course, where the Adamant was, so...
But what's interesting, though, is because they have a 2-man party, and they're really only focused on just finding shards, per se, they might be able to make up a lot of time just by virtue of their party composition. Once everyone gets into the grind, no matter what, they're going to only have 2 characters, so they'll be able to get there quicker, so this may not be too much of a disadvantage for them.
Right, yeah, that's really, in a lot of ways, the value of the 2-man strat, is once you get to grind time, that time will go a lot faster, and it will sort of cover over a multitude of, not really sins exactly, but maybe one could say that they're behind a little bit earlier, but they could make up that time a fair bit quicker in the leveling department, at least.
That is very true. Shout out to Link Chest on Kirito's side, by the way.
Oh, boy. Alright, so it looks like Caleb is making his way into Ordeals. Grindy is going to check out some stuff in Earth Cave. Kirito's in Swamp, or Marsh, and looks like Luffy is jogging out of the waterfall.
I mean, I said that about Grindy, but Grindy's got 5 shards. So... And Luffy's got 3. They might be in the lead in terms of shards, so...
Yeah, these guys menu very, very quickly if y'all haven't noticed yet. And so it can be kind of hard at times to get any sort of a record of shards and exactly how everybody's doing. It is worth mentioning and also worth a little bit of a shout out. Jay Scheidel is our tracker for this evening and is having to not only track the normal tracky sort of stuff, but is also keeping count of all those lovely shards for us. So, as always, props to trackers for keeping our heads on straight. So, especially in this
Shout
sort
out
of
to you.
situation.
Shout out to you, my good sir. As I peeped, a ribbon was found in Marsh on Corrido's side, and a sun -3 was found in Earth on Grindy's side. So
Yeah.
it's -3, but still, it's a sun sword.
Sun Sword's still pretty good. Yeah, I'd
Mm-hmm.
be curious to see the difference in between the Ice +1 and Sun -3 to see
That's
kind
what
of
I'm
where
thinking.
those two stand.
It's like I think you might get better hit. You're definitely gonna get better hit with the ice one. It's just a matter of the output on that sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As Luffy picks up the Oxyale from the bottle turn in, as Caleb had gotten a short time before, and picks up, I see, a gold bracelet on Grindy's side. So that gold -4, it is -4, but it's still gold. So you're
That's what I'm
definitely gonna
saying.
get it.
You see how quick he equipped it? He was like, I may not spend AK for it, but I'll definitely equip it as soon as I find it.
Yeah, I will gladly take it for 0K.
Won't we all?
All right, so it looks like Luffy is going to be our first runner to head into the volcano, and we get to see the pillaging of the volcano armory in very short order.
Nice. And the trap tile is Earth's. I'm trying to bounce.
Meanwhile, Caleb has ascended the castle ordeals very, very quickly and is about to find out what is in there. We've got 3 of the dud locations figured out. We have not yet seen number 4, though. Thought for a second that Titan Stroke was number 4, but it's not incentivized, so oops to me.
Over-unders on ribbons and ordeal chests. I'm going to go over, actually. Even though statistically it won't be.
Yeah.
Ooh, piece. 2 pieces so far in Volcano. Vorpal -1. Masa -2. I don't care what it is. Masa, yes sir, please. Thank you.
Yep. And Caleb equips it about as fast as it takes me to blink.
There was an ice something in Volcano as well. So, I mean, hey, Volcano looked pretty nice, to be honest. There were some shards there.
Alright, so Luffy is making his way into, well, thought he was making his way into the ice cave
Me
and
too.
chose not to.
Make a fool out of us, did he?
Yes. As Caleb picks up the chime at the top of Castle Ordeals.
The one, the only.
And Jay Scheidel providing us with the stats for the Ice +1 compared to Sun -3. And the difference does seem to be... This seemed to... well, it looks like, yeah, it swings over actually very much to Ice Sword with 31 damage against 26 and 26 hit against 21. So, yeah, so Ice +1 does seem to be clearly the better sword.
Look, you've seen Seeds done with just regular ice swords, so that's what I was thinking. If it was Sun maybe -1, then it would be comparable, I think. Maybe you could lean into the Sun, but -3? Mm-mm. But Masa -2? Still using that, because that's equipable on anyone.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, if you're going to... The Mazda minus anything is generally better than anything else plus anything else. So, yeah, the Mazda beats everything, essentially. But still, as far as Ice versus Sun, it was nice to get the stats in comparison on that one.
Definitely.
All right,
So about 30 minutes in, looks like Luffy just found their sun -3, which is good to see. People are in different parts of the world. No one has taken on a theme as of yet. But Luffy and or Caleb will probably be the first ones to do. Oh no, never mind, because Caleb's not in Volcano anymore. So
No,
yeah, I don't.
no, Caleb was in Ordeals. So, also it's worth noting, Grindy picked up the adamant from the old men, but unfortunately is heading toward the volcano, whereas we know that adamant holds the key to the sky this evening. Alright, Caleb gonna go check out, I would presume, go ahead and grab the first 2 floors of Mirage Tower, since you got so many darn treasure chests full of so many potential shards.
Yep. As a ogre, enjoy some cake.
Hey, I get everybody in on the dessert. Dessert is good, as long as you don't overindulge.
Exactly. All right. Ooh, Batman.
Yeah, Caleb is not having a fun time trying to get to these treasure chests.
239. Heal 4. Peace. Money. Katana.
Yeah, the Telecatana.
And well, save. Go up to greater than less than. See if there's anything worthwhile there.
Yep. Yeah, maybe not quite as good of a shard haul as you would have hoped, but yeah, there is still that second floor to go visit, and shouldn't be too much to deal with, I would expect. Especially if you've got good enough tools to deal with those vampires. Mazo -2 will certainly help with that.
Grandy's hitting Volcano. Luffy's in Marsh, so they will get their ribbon if they get down to the bottom. Corito is in Ice, it looks like, with the background.
Yeah. I would presume so.
And Ice gave us the ruby?
No, Marsh gave us the ruby.
Ah, you're right. So we haven't seen Ice yet. That would be new.
Right.
Grindy's black mate's taking a dirt nap.
Well, it does make it to the volcano, or to the armory, though, so be picking up all those items.
Yeah, that 4 from -1.
And trying like heck to get away from the Gurpede, succeeding, fortunately.
Yep. That's what it was. Ice armor -3.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, items aren't being wholly generous today, but you know.
No.
It is what it is.
I mean, that's kind of how a blur state usually will turn out, at least in my experience. You get a lot of minuses. And celebrate the pluses when you find them.
That's true.
No,
but sometimes you just... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it looks like Caleb is really kind of running into his first big roadblock trying to get to the greater than less than room here.
It would appear so. As Luffy finds another piece.
Alright, so...
Level 16, though.
Yeah, from what I can tell on Luffy's screen, it looked like he had, I believe, 8 or 9 shards, from what I could tell.
There goes that ribbon. That was 4 different enemies on Caleb's screen.
That's a scary little pack.
Mm-hmm. Flame -3. Silver 3. Monies. Little monies. Maybe 4.
Wrong Final Fantasy. I mean, same good series, good game, but wrong one.
Littlemonies.
And Kirito picks up a Crystal in Ice Cave.
Nice. The
And
Mage 4 is not too bad
Yeah.
on Caleb's side. I mean, it's something, if you end up finding like a scum tile, that's something to sit on for a quick second. Even those vamps, you'd appreciate it.
I was going to say, speaking of vamps, we've got vamps on Caleb and Kirito's side of things. So, yeah, we've got some options for Kirito found a rock gall tile and all those vampires on trap tile in the bottom of ice. So it's kind of too bad that we haven't really seen great offensive spells to this point, because if Nuke had been more available, then I have a feeling Kirito would probably be jumping for joy right now, because those vampires would make for some great Nuke targets, or fire, or harm 4.
We do have harm 4 though.
Yep. Yeah, harm 4 is one of those spells that you don't really, it's not the sexiest spell ever. It's not one of those that you just leap at, but hey, it definitely has its utility, especially with tiles like that.
Absolutely. And when harm 4 comes through and puts in work, nothing feels better, because it's just a solitary charge for undead. You're not using it for anything else. So when it just puts in work, you're like, yes.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Let's see what Grindy finds here in Volcano. Money. Gonna heal up. We got a trap tile coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerpede.
We've got ourselves an Opal 5 helmet, so that'll be great for a knight whenever they become all grown up and stuff.
Absolutely. Opal's roll +1.
Yeah, Opal bracelets are definitely in good territory as well. Yeah, the more of those you happen to find, the so much better it's going to be, especially for, with Kirito's red mages, you can have chainmail and so have at least some armor, but opals are still going to be the dream.
Exactly, and they roll +1.
Right, yeah, so you give them that benefit, and on top of them already being good as opals, then yeah, definitely off to the races on that front.
Looks like a worm took out that black mage on Grindy's side.
Uh-oh.
But we press on.
Oh, yes. So Caleb is making his way up the Sky Tower, and Luffy is about to head toward the Mermaid Room in the Sea Palace. So we're, again, this is Divergent City at this point, because we've got everybody running around and trying to find all the things, and they've run to all the different locations to find said things.
We're getting into the meat and potatoes of it, as they say.
Oh, yes. Alright, looks like Grindy may end up being the first runner on stream to go after a fiend, because Carrie is about to is about to get Grindied, I suppose.
Hey, look, you got Masa. I believe they got the Masa, so just go ahead and do work. Weapon. Oh, they're right. Don't use that falchion. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say though, I just, as a runner myself, oh, hello TNT. Mm-hmm. As a runner myself, I often have to swap back and forth between some of these items to make sure that I know which one is essentially which. But Grindy doing some pretty smart start with using that defense sword to get the evasion stacks up, and then probably just going to start swinging for the fences.
Absolutely. 2 hits, 2 damage.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Well, hold A and pray.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ouch, because you need that crit loot, boy. You ain't going to make it.
Yeah. And Kirito turns the TNT from Matoya's crystal into some music.
Well, definitely need the loot.
Yep.
Without question.
Yep. we do not have short Topher on, so yeah, you're gonna need to play some music if you want to get anywhere in the end game. Also gonna need the key, which we haven't seen yet, I do not believe.
That's true. I feel super all right, we got 3 hits for 86 damage on Grindy's side one swing, which is good. Because you have to complete this, given all the exploration they've done. They can't sacrifice it, so.
Yeah.
Alright, another 75. They've got Fire 2, Ice, Lit 2 came out as well. The carry doesn't look to be too mean. Dark and Ink aren't hitting. Hold is ineffective. 3 hits, 3 damage. Ooh, that body.
Oh, that crit though. So yeah. So I was about to say, I wonder if this is going to prompt Grindy to go turn in that adamant, but it's going to prompt Grindy to head toward Ice Cave, which, well, I mean, it's in the sense it's foreknowledge. It's knowledge that we have as commentators and as the audience, but it's unfortunate knowledge that Grindy doesn't have because, yeah, the ice is, going to turn into something, going to turn into the crystal TNT loot, but it's not going to turn into any travel options.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And at this point, you're kind of just losing time, unfortunately, not having the floater. It's just what it is, because they have to still use the canal network in order to get to ice where everyone else can just fly, so.
Right. And chat mentioning that Luffy got the key at Mermaids, which makes sense considering that now they're heading toward the back of Waterfall.
Nice.
So, yeah, and it's also worth noting, just kind of as a little bit of a conversational point, I suppose. We have, as I mentioned, Jay Seidel doing the tracking 4 people at once, so it can get a little tough sometimes to keep all the action going. And to keep track of all of it, certainly.
Definitely. Eyeballs just going all over the place.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Also, as another note, I props as well to Dwight, who is doing the restream tonight. It is actually Dwight's first time doing a restream and has done a fantastic job. So, props to you as well, Dwight.
Sitting out here looking like an AV Pro. Oh my goodness, this thing looking crispy. If I had 4K resolution, it still wouldn't show up because it's like lower than 8-bit. But regardless, extra clean.
Those bits look extra 80, I suppose you could
exactly. Say. Extra 80. All right, so Caleb's checking out their armor, getting rid of everything that they don't need.
Did I see correctly that Caleb only has 3 shards?
I did not catch that.
It was just a quick flicker, so I might have mistaken it, but...
Yeah, 32 shards. I don't know if I'd have signed up for this weekly race, to be honest.
Yeah, I know I was looking at the flags, and it's the shard hunt is a pretty hefty one, but that of course also means that you're going to find a lot of them in those boxes. So,
Caleb's got 5. It looks like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think he's picking up some in as he's going through Corneria.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's got a different, as you can see, if you can, obviously piece it together. Everyone's got their own unique methodology, as to how they're going to approach the siege, which I think is cool. Obviously, I mean, you still do general things, but some people explore a bit more. Some people prefer to sit and grind. Some people prefer to walk and grind. So it's interesting to see how it all pans out. The main thing I think is going to differentiate people in the end is the core, that grinding point where they have to at least add levels in some type of fashion, and how they go across Topher.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of grinding and such, if I remember correctly, nobody checked out the grind tiles in Northwest Castle, did they?
I don't think so.
I don't believe they have. They all obviously talked with Ostos and got the equipment, but they. White shirt. Hi.
Ooh, white shirt. There you go. I don't even care if it's -2.
Yeah.
Free Invis 2. Thank you.
So that, I believe, was actually the fourth. Well, we're going to use slight air quotes on this one, dud. Because Coneria Locked was one of the incentivized locations, so...
I didn't catch the last chest, but yeah, if there was nothing of importance there, then it was a quote-unquote dud.
Yeah. I mean, in the history of dud locations, you can get some pretty nasty crap there, like just $5 or, a heel pod or something of that ilk. But I have to say, I think my favorite story in regards to a dud was, and I don't remember when this seed was run exactly, but when that dud was a Mazamune.
Wow. The dud mune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was just, everybody was just going nuts. It was probably the best dud in history.
Was that a vanilla 4?
Yes, it was.
Nice. And a ribbon.
And a better than vanilla ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
Not that, ribbon needs to be anything but vanilla to be awesome, but still.
Exactly. It's nice to see one of these seeds. I've been commentating the last few seeds I've done. It's been just ridiculous 3-hour slogs, where it's just nothing is vanilla, deep towns, etc., etc. So it's nice to just be like, just a Thor is a Thor,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have a Newt gauntlet, but you never see it anyway. So it's always a Mute 5, and you're like, come on, man, no one can use 8 Mute.
Yeah. It's some of these seeds that, especially our more adventurous runners run. Oh boy, I think my brain would explode and leak out my ears somewhere around about an hour or two.
Exactly.
But props to them, because it takes a different. Not only does it take some real gumption and chutzpah and fill in the blank, it takes a different kind of thought process to do some of them, especially if you're looking at the ones that are clamped bosses and high encounter rates and Will Bloodworth just taking a single thief. All of that is, I don't know how you do it, but props to you for doing it. I'm not brave enough. I'm a wuss.
Humans just, they amaze me every day.
So Caleb did indeed pick up the key in Mermaid, so that was where Luffy had gotten it earlier. So,
Nice.
Yeah. So now we know where both the key and the loot are. Now it's just a question of who wants to unite the two power items. Because nobody's managed to do that quite yet.
That's pretty much it. So, I mean, in principle, all we have to do is just find the shards and away we go.
Yep.
But, I mean, we've seen most of Volcano. We've seen most, if not all, of Ice. What else? We've seen a lot of Earth, not all of it, obviously.
Actually, not really. My understanding, we've not really seen much of Earth. I think we've just seen first floor.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I'm confusing. We've seen all of Marsh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what have we seen? Like 10 or 11, maybe 12 shards in total?
I mean, it's... Like, I think the highest shard count I've seen right now is probably around 10-ish. And I believe I've seen that from, I think Luffy is the one that has the most shards on hand right now. Yeah, 10,
Okay,
exactly. So, hey.
Okay, cool. That's not too bad, considering you're going to get 12 from the Fiend, so...
Right. I mean, the dream is, ideally, to find enough to where you can sort of you can send at least one of the big Fiends, Kraken or Tia, just kind of give them a one-way trip to wherever they can find the next, $59 fare from Southwest. Just give them a vacation for the night.
Indeed. I'm hoping that Kirito didn't sell a ribbon off but maybe I'm just losing my mind.
Well,
Because I was like, what?
hey, that would be a bold play, definitely. And see, Caleb has done the honor of checking TFC for us, and TFC had a shard, so
Nice.
TFC has value. Maybe not super value, but value.
Hey, a shard is a shard, mate.
Yep.
All right, and giving us a Zeus -2. That's something. That's not bad to see.
Yeah.
Um.
Especially in the Sea Shrine.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm actually not too bad to see about that. I mean, it's another spammable thing that you can use on an armor slot.
Yeah. And chat pointing out that TFC is one of the best soccer teams on the continent. Well, hey, there you go.
I will not engage in this type of slander, unfortunately. Absolutely not.
I was going to say, I'm presuming that TFC being Toronto in the MLS. I'm hoping I'm remembering correctly, to be honest.
I haven't watched North American soccer in so long. Over here in Australia, we've got footy, mate, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, yes. I've actually seen some footy back when ESPN used to carry it. It's interesting.
Shout out to Penrith Panthers. We on a roll. Grindy finally getting that floater. They're going to feel great, but also not great because it's 58 minutes and they know for a fact that all of their opponent definitely have that. Even though there's only 4 people on stream, there's potential that Grindy's probably the last person to get their floater out of everyone in this race. So you don't worry about picking up the floater at 54 minutes, considering where everything was. But
yeah,
it's neither here nor there.
I think in this sense, it's interesting because, of course, we got the canoe in Elfland from the herb turn-in. And so it's interesting, I think, because if I'm not mistaken, Grindy made his way over to Crescent Lake from kind of the vanilla direction, so to speak, going west from the starting continent. And I think the runners who were incentivized to kind of peek at what the adamant was were the ones who came east, who used the canoe and just kind of zipped on over to Crescent Lake. So they had to go back over to the ship in Elfland anyway, and so that placed them a lot closer to the dwarves. So it's just like, oh, well, we're on the way. Let's just kind of go ahead and see what this becomes. So I think that might have contributed to it somewhat. So it was a little bit of a routing decision, which is understandable, but I think it just didn't roll the right way for Grindy in that aspect.
But they've done a ton of exploration, so they will be able to just, zoom everywhere else they gotta go.
Yeah.
Got some scorpions and X-Scowl -5.
Oh.
Well, dream is done. Nope. we're not gonna have the super beastly weapons, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
We got Ice One. Ice One, the GOAT.
Well, Mazza -2, the GOAT, but Ice One. Ice One, the small letter GOAT, shall we say?
Exactly, the runner-up.
Right. Ice One is definitely going to be the GOAT for one of Kiritop's 3 red mages. That's for darn sure. And Katana is going to be the GOAT for Luffy's thief.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Kirito's going to have some swords to swing. They got Masa, they've got Ice One, and they'll also be able to swing that Sun -3. I think that X-Scowl -5 probably will still be better than Sun -3, just because of the difference between the two.
Yeah.
But they've also got Defense 1, so you might actually just want to swing that Defense 1.
Yeah, true. So I'm wondering if... So Luffy saw that katana in Mirage 1, I don't know that they actually picked it up, though. I think they got a can't hold and then just kind of went about their business, if I saw correctly. Maybe I'm hoping I didn't, because that's bad, because Thief and Katana. But, well, there's more than one Katana, so they might have already gotten the other one, but...
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm hoping that's the case, because especially because vanilla Katana, you just need that crit rate.
Yep.
Nothing crittier in the seed.
Hardy, har. Alright, so it looks like we've got Kirito and Grindy shaking hands. Well, they were shaking hands for a second, hovering over the drop spot.
But they decided to go on their separate ways.
C'est la vie. Alright, so Caleb making his way over to the Kraken fight. And so we already saw, of course, we saw Grindy try to take on Carrie, and unfortunately that didn't work out very well. So let's see what luck Caleb has going after Kraken.
Caleb has had better levels than everyone else for a long time, which is interesting because they've got 4 party members. So they're just going through this scene kind of very interesting, not running away from battles, but taking them. But Kraken's like, nah, son, I'm hitting you hard. So what am I talking about?
Yeah. Well, but obviously putting a lot of that offense behind the fighter, getting invis stacks and using defense sword, trying to make sure that fighter stays up as long as possible, because Kraken has already cracked one of Caleb's eggs and is trying to crack the fighter wide open. Very nearly did.
Cracking, smacking. And now you're sitting back thinking, darn, for 29 gold, I could have picked up Lamp.
Alas, Lamp.
When you hear this VOD, Caleb, just know I definitely called you out for knowing you could have picked up Lamp, bro.
Yes, tisk. Oh, whoa, though.
They pulled it out without the Lamp. I'm still not going to let you get off with that, but regardless, GG's.
That was a very nice crit there to take down Kraken, especially because Kraken was trying to take him down first.
I tip my hat off to you, my goodness of sirs. As we see Black 3 goes off on these girl wolves while the... Okay, nice. So, gonna get away from that. And that's a good use right there. Getting some girl Medusas and being able to just pull out that Mage 4 stick. Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gurmedusas is not even low-key, but just straight out one of the better fight opportunities you're going to have to get experience, because they don't hit all that hard, but they were blessed with a plethora of XP for all of the fighters to lap up. So,
absolutely.
Yep.
Sometimes, I mean, if you get obviously 4, if you get the worms and they're squishy and they're not squishy at all, like they're just really, really low HP, that's the best. But Gurmedusas generally are squishy, so as long as they're not hitting you with something stupid, they're just great to spam.
Yep. So with Caleb taking down Kraken, that brought him to 15 shards. He's now going to go check out the Temple of Fiends locked, and hello!
Slimes. Yep, we're going to pull up that Mage stick again.
Uh-huh.
Nice. You know, I might actually sit there for 3 or 4, depending, as long as they go down to a Mage stick or 2. I could sit there for maybe, 1 or 2 battles.
Yeah.
That's a good enough EXP.
Yeah. That is assuming, of course. Oh, there you go. Get that.
There you go.
And
oh yeah, they're super. That's nothing.
Yep. Oh, that's pushing him up to close to level 20, and wow.
Yeah, I would take a house and do that maybe 1 or 2 more. Exactly. Do that 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah.
Especially when you took them down with Ice 3. Like, they're actually bulky against that. As Luffy has also got some slimes going on.
Oh yeah. So, and that Mage Stick doing some pretty serious work.
You love to see that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would not be at all surprised to see Caleb take some very juicy levels from this.
And that's actually like a great position for it to be at. You know what I mean? Given this flag set, you don't have to go to, you don't even really need to be touching, high 30s. As long as you hit like 32, you could probably walk away now at 20, 25, 24, and then finish what you have to do, come back and clean up the last few levels you want. So yeah, that's not a bad place.
Yeah. And
Powerbomb.
Huh.
Nice. That's a great decision. Like, get you some levels and a power bonk +2.
Oh yes. It's also worth noting, Luffy picked up the tail in the incentivized chest in Sky Palace.
Sick.
So we now have promotion.
And Luffy getting some good levels. And that's actually smart, I think, in my opinion, the White Mage taking a dirt nap. They don't have that much utility in the seed minus life, honestly. And I believe the red use life because of it being the first slot, right? So
yeah, if it's first slot, it should be open for night acquisition.
So I don't mind the White Mage taking a dirt nap. It's not going to have the greatest utility. It's not like we got Fade at level 3 or 4, so.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, all of the on-screen runners took a good number of mages, and sadly, it did not work out very well in the magic department. Save that life and heal 3.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Out of everyone, I think Kirito's probably in the best position just because there's enough swords for the red mages to swing, and then nothing rolled at disadvantageous. They still have tempers. They've still got life. They still got heal 3s and cure 3s, so nothing is disadvantageous. And I think they can get, I think they have fast as well with at least one of them. So they're not going to be the strongest, but the knight will be able to do work. Everyone's going to have life, so they're not going to be in a disadvantageous position per se.
Yeah. And Caleb heading over to, well, we were mentioning those chests in Northwest and heading over to check them now and finding an Opal 3 shield and some very salty grind tiles with lots of sea creatures.
And Naga and also H2O bot coming to make a shout out, being like, drank some water, y'all.
Well, time to put that Zeus gauntlet to work.
Mm-hmm. Now will we see Luffy take on Tiamat? Most likely. They've gotten this far, so they'll probably take on Tia. They're in a good position to do so, I think.
Yeah, it looks like in terms of overall, I guess if you were to kind of diagnose the seed so far, it would, at least in regards to the runners that we have on stream, it would seem as though Caleb and Luffy really are kind of the cream of the crop, so to speak. They're roughly equivalent in regards to shard counts. And I don't believe Luffy's taken down a Fiend yet, so in some sense, Luffy has a little bit of an advantage on that front because Luffy's still got the full 12 available from Fiend killing, whereas Caleb has grabbed 4 of those from Kraken.
That's very true, actually. So, and Luffy's a fan of the left up, y'all, not the right down. So, however y'all feel about that, please put it in chat. Don't at me for it, but. And are we gonna get Robot Chicken?
Not a required Robot Chicken. Oh, we did though. Uh-oh.
We got some Robot Chicken. Oh, just a cameo.
And Runaway Robot Chicken.
Sadly, y'all, Luffy decided to be a vegetarian. It's like, listen, we're not gonna do harm to these, Cybertronic chickens. We're just gonna let y'all roam in peace.
All right, so looks like we're gonna have some defensing up on the Thief and Bane strats coming out from the Black Mage here.
You gotta try it, right? Look, 12.5%.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, the usual sort of Brack strats were not really available, so we gotta go with what we got. Oh, but Damage Poison takes out that Black Mage, so Bane has been baned, sadly.
Yep. The dream lives on.
Oh well. It looks like, at least so far, well, I was gonna say this Tia isn't really punching anything, and then promptly punched the red mage. So, whoa,
What? With 8 hits and 1,000 some damage, don't really care because
yeah,
they're done.
yeah. So, there goes Tia, and there goes. I believe that pushes Luffy up to 20 shards.
You gotta feel good about that, actually. Level
yeah.
20 Thief, not even leveled up yet. They've got the tail. You gotta feel real good about that, to be honest. You know you can go tail up whenever you want. Grab that katana and start doing major work.
Yeah. But choosing not to do so quite yet. Heading back over to Crescent Lake to, I guess, get some items back in their lives. Which
Looks like Caleb picked up a Bane -3 sword, so it's not gonna be the greatest to swing, but it will be something to spam.
yeah. And I'm going through the Dwarf Key Lock, the Marsh Key Lock, which is not incentivized, but still could be home to some shards and some good stuff like Dragon 3 armor.
Exactly. You definitely want to go through it when you're in this type of seed, because although it's not quote unquote incentivized by nature of being a shard hunt for 32, you're incentivized to do so just because of the statistics on how things roll out. You need to check more boxes than usual.
Uh-huh. And just for that Dragon +3, that pays it out all by its lonesome.
Absolutely. Now, this is interesting too. Now, there's nothing really that I've seen else. You know, there's Power Bonk, Ribbons, Masa, so X-Scowl. Everything's been rolled because if I didn't find anything, you might, once we get the Topher, get a validation check, but there ain't nothing. Maybe if you want to see if there's an extra ribbon. But
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would say maybe the ribbon would be the only thing that I could think of. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the weapons didn't roll terribly well. The armor seems to be rolling a fair bit better.
however, Luffy is turned in the tail, so they are able to start putting on the beast mode armor and weapons. So they're looking pretty good. That Ninja now has the katana, so they'll be able to slice the dice
And make
put
Julian
that moth
rise.
underneath. Exactly. Lumio Swaparooski. And boom, Nico's rocking the Masa sword, so feeling pretty good.
And Chad asking, are the peace items zonks? No, this is actually a shard hunt set of flags today. So yes, the runners have to find 32 of the shards in order to be able to enter into the Temple of Fiends Revisited, which is the final dungeon of the game. So yeah, instead of having to kill all 4 of the fiends and light the 4 orbs like they normally would, they have to find 32 of those shards. They can find up to 12 of them by killing the fiends, if they so wish, and Caleb and Luffy have each killed one of the 2 major fiends, either Kraken or Tiamat, so they got 4 shards from each of those kills. But conceivably speaking, you could find them all in treasure chests and then just roll up into Chaos's house and go. Pretty much.
What up, homie? This is the Warriors of Light, baby. We decided to come and exterminate you.
Yo, Chaos, we broke your orbs. Sorry about that. You just, I'll leave my address and phone number. You can file insurance claim.
They come out, what's up, baby? Heard you was messing up space-time continuums. Got a soft on Grindy's side. Shout out to Softs. Sea Shrine, actually, just on a personal note, is where I there's like that weird box, and I think it's C3. There's that one box all the way to the north that no one ever checks. I love checking that chest because I always find, like, it's never incentivized, but I always find like the best item there. Always.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Is that's the one north of That's the one north of TFC, isn't it?
Yep, it's like all the way. No one ever checks that one chest because you got to go all the way up and then to the right, and it's just
Yeah.
that one chest. So you're
Yeah.
like, nah, odds are you're never gonna get anything good. But I always check it, and it's always something good.
Yeah, that poor lonely box.
Hmm
Wants to be loved.
It gets no love in the community, so I'm gonna vie for us making a tournament and just making the name like the Lonely TFC box,
Yeah.
just so it gets like primo time for everyone. Like, I bet.
This is the new TFC. Just north of the old TFC.
Ah, we got some bones on Caleb's side. Yeah, so right now, actually, this is interesting. So, given that Caleb still has what, they've still got a few more things to go, and they have how many shards? That was quite a bit of menuing, but it looks like they have 20. They can still get 8. Yeah, so if they pick up, I think if they pick up 4 more shards, then they're good to go. I think in terms of being able to
Yeah, it looks
beat
like
them.
Caleb's 22. So, yeah. Yeah, has just 2 more out of chest and then killed Veins.
That's nice.
Yeah, and Luffy's right about it. That Luffy is at that same
Mhm.
point. So,
Yep.
and they're
Yep.
both in Ice Dungeon. So, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a race.
Indeed, indeed. And look, Grundy's not too far behind. They've got level 22s and whatnot. And I mean, they've still got a bit of shards to go, but
Yeah,
they're going to get there in time.
yeah. That quick dash with Grindy having 13 and Kirito having 11. So, and of course, it's also worth noting that we've got about 10 other people running this seed off stream. So, or at least on their own streams, but off the restream. So, there's plenty of folks running around trying to find a whole bunch of broken orbs.
I think from just viewing this type of seed, this is definitely this is a seed that favors being able to appropriately handle the walking grind. Is as you can see, Caleb and Luffy, even though Luffy has the thief, they're still, they're running away from the battles that don't make sense and or they need to survive, but they've been taking most of the battles where necessary. And the walking grind is something that I think is like, it takes a lot of time to really understand that finesse, because you just think, oh, I can walk and just take every battle. A lot of times it don't make sense, so you need to know which encounter tables have the best EXP, which ones are also expedient so you can just crush them without using too many resources. It's a fine science, so I actually appreciate being able to like see that versus saying a seed where you could have sat on those slime tiles, but it seems to favor, walking and getting your EXP naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's the runners were talking in the SRL chat before everything was getting started. They were talking about with the way that the encounter rates were shaping up, that it was very much going to be more of a walking grind instead of trying to just kind of rely solely on hunting down a good grind tile, which incidentally enough, we've seen a couple. Not the perfect one, but we've seen a couple of pretty good ones in some vamp grinds. We saw rock dolls. We saw the metal slimes over in Temple of Fiends. So there's some pretty decent grind tiles, but yeah, the walking grind really has been more of the thing, and Caleb and Luffy have definitely excelled at trying to get that worked out. So I kind of get the feeling, honestly, that once Luffy and Caleb get those 2 shards, I kind of get the feeling that they're just going to stop. They're going to go in just complete go mode and start dashing for the Fiends, because I don't feel like they really need a whole lot else vis-a-vis the any items that they might want to pick up.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think Luffy needs anything else. They don't need anything else. And Caleb is gonna get life on the night once they get the tail and class up. Otherwise, yeah, once they get those shards, they're good to go.
Yeah, chat
Yeah.
mentioning about talking about the encounter rates. Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act trying to get the encounters sorted out well enough that there's some challenge to it, but not where it's a super grindy meat cleaver slog sort of thing.
We're definitely getting into the thick of it, though. I believe Caleb will actually be able to get the last 2 shards that they need from Volcano if they have not already checked the armory. I don't know if they have.
Luffy checking the trap tile chest, initially jumping out of it, and then realizing, oh crap, it's a pro ring. Let's go back.
And getting that piece, they'll definitely get another one here, so they'll feel pretty good about that.
And there you go.
Now, I wonder, will they get the tail?
Well, I was going to say, the tail, though, is not in Volcano. It's over in the top of Sky.
As the rod, it was hiding behind the vampire.
Well, nicely placed.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a very utilitarian location there. We see Grindy going on to take on Kraken. And
there we go. Squid. Ooh, when you're pulling out the heal pots, that's definitely not the greatest feeling. But you know what? When you're only getting smacked for 17, throw out a heal pot.
yeah.
Alright, evasion starting to stack. Do anything you can and not be back road. Get you some temper in your life. Alright, 4 hits, 483. And the 2-man dream lives on.
Worth noting, while that was going on the left side, it looks like Luffy has gotten enough shards that he is content with just dashing through the rest of Earth to try to get to Lich. Caleb's still opening boxes, so I presume is still going to be trying to get more shards. Only needs, I believe, 7 more to reach that 32.
Nice. Well then, hey, look, if you find 1 more, then that means all you have to do is just blast Tia and then carry, and you're done.
Yeah. And of course, that's obviously a big part of everything that's going on with this is how do you manage what you've done or what you have available as far as grinds go, or as far as your mapping goes. You know, do you prioritize opening up boxes to try to find more shards and then try to skip a fiend, as Caleb is going to be doing here, or do you just kind of make a mad dash for the fiends and just take them down and not worry about spending a bunch of time opening boxes? Or balance the two. It just really depends on your approach.
It's an interesting approach. If done right, you know, it works out great. As you can see, if you're able to skip a fiend, you feel great because you skip time also getting to the fiend and destroying it. But Luffy, hey, look, when you can body a fiend that quickly, who cares?
Yeah. And we have dual carry fights up on the top here from Caleb and Kirito. And it looks like they are, they both seem to be handling things at least fairly well. I've got heal out on Kirito's side, lot 2s, and then looks like Caleb is trying to get that fighter. Well, yep, there you go. Strategy successful.
There we go. Still interesting that Luffy's the only one with the tail.
Yeah, we'd seen Caleb go up into Sky Palace, but not I don't think Caleb made it to the Asterisk floor. I had only made it up to Sky 1, and I believe that was it. At least that's the last I remember seeing. That may have been when Caleb got wiped out. So,
I'm gonna think. I mean, maybe things have changed since they have more orbs, but I think they'll check the asterisk room. That's just me, because why not? Right? You could run into, a better item, et cetera, or they could really be. Actually, I don't know, because when you're racing against like 14 other people, you really just want expediency. So, what am
Yeah,
I talking?
I would say what Caleb's going to do right now is probably check the incentivized chest because, I mean, there's not much that's left that it could possibly be for him. So he knows that the likelihood that it is promotion is probably fairly high. His party doesn't terribly need it. I mean, the only one that really needs promotion is that fighter. But he also has that Dragon 3 in hand, so he's definitely going to incentivize him turning in that tail. So I think he's going to check the incentive chest and find that it is the tail, and I think that's the only chest he's going to check.
That would be great if he does check it. I mean, you're right. He has no reason not to.
Yeah.
Especially three sitting there, you just itching to find it.
Yeah. Because it's in the asterisk room, and you probably spend an extra maybe 15 steps to get it. So, yeah, it's definitely a worthy check, and he will find that it will pay off, especially for his fighter. Looks like Luffy has made his way to Carrie to, give her the business. It's probably going to be fairly quick business, given.
Very quickly. Carrie survived a round.
A round, that's probably going to be about it. Yep, down she goes. And yeah, Caleb choosing to check that incentive chest, and there's the tail.
Happy dash from Caleb, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, happy moonwalk, given, how he's got all that running set up, but...
That's going to make an interesting parallel, actually. The strength of the tail is basically going to be katana for thief or dragon armor for knight.
Yeah, I guess in some sense the best defense is a good offense, but when you're looking at fighting, especially the revisited fiends, the best defense is a good defense, in a way. Especially if the fiends decide to get nice and punchy on the night.
Taking a look on the side, seeing some snorting going on. But Mage 4 should clean up most of these Medusas.
Yeah. And then, Quad X tries to clean up the saber-toothed tiger. It doesn't quite work, sadly.
Luffy grabbing some Lock 2 in their lives. Definitely a good move. Put it on your thief. Put it on your black mage. Put it on your red mage. Everyone gets a Lock 2 in their lives. Does Luffy have all the... no, I thought they hit me with the fake me out.
Yeah.
Now, is Caleb coming in on the same script?
I
don't think so.
I was going to say, I've never really been very good at telling what script that they're on, that the runners are on when they do that sort of thing. But now it looks like no War Mech, no Robot Chicken for Caleb. Just goes straight for Tiamat.
Oh.
And is definitely going with the buff the fighter up and got some really good turn order because all of those came in before the fighter swung the sword. So definitely good news for Caleb's setup, and I don't expect Tia's going to last much longer, and doesn't.
Nope. Down goes Tia.
And that should finish out Caleb's count. Yep.
It does. I surmise they're going to go pick up some life in their lives and then be on with it. Well, they got to go tail up as well. They need to go see Bahamut.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, though, that's a pretty quick trip to be able to get that dragon armor equipped. And yet, that is exactly where Caleb's going.
Hold left. I will say though, for beginners to FF Rando, the biggest boss of all is the world map.
I will also note that we do have our first finisher of the seed. Our first finisher is Edgeworth, who finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 20 seconds. So GG Edgeworth, who is one of the off-stream runners, but still GG nonetheless.
GG.
I expect that Caleb and Luffy will probably not be too far behind because Caleb has all the shards. Luffy is about to get all the shards. So it's, yeah. I don't expect that they're going to be too terribly far behind Edgeworth in this seed finish.
Nah, I don't think so either. Especially given that, you know, the time is what it was, you can surmise that Topher was not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like as you were mentioning, as far as some of the seeds that you had been casting lately, and as we were mentioning with the flags don't really seem to betoken themselves to be that terrifying of a Topher. Although, of course, the revisited fiends obviously could have a lot of things in store, but yeah, the time does seem to indicate that the runners aren't going to be too terribly put out with this.
Yep. Shout outs to... Nah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Caleb has entered Topher at just under 1 hour, 29 minutes.
Nice. Gonna get some Topher action. Probably won't get validation today, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, the big reason to look in that sort of a chest in this type of a run would be for the shards, and of course they've already got all of them, so yeah, understandable.
Gotta love those eggs with hat sprites.
Oh yeah, and Caleb has, of course, we saw that from the Moonwalking Light Warriors, but Caleb has always been a fan of the sort of being a man of the people, if you will, with the memes.
Albeit we did not catch any lamp, and it was right there for the taking, so.
Well, I guess you can't do all the memes, but hey, he did Hooray Dwarf 3 times, so that counts for a lot in my book.
That does count.
All right, so we've got Luffy. Yeah, Kraken's causing some problems here for Luffy, unfortunately.
Just for a second, but I surmise after a swing or two from the ninja, you'll be sliced and diced.
Yeah, and obviously that defense sword application is very much helping as well. All of our runners, hey, we got Bane strats. All of our runners can definitely put the defense sword to work, and they've all been using it pretty well.
Yep. Smart. You never want to catch just a rogue tile going to get out of a dungeon.
Yeah, especially being down to 1 light warrior, you don't want to risk any of that. Meanwhile, on Caleb's end of things, Lich 2 served as the speed bump that we all know and love, and so now it's on to the carry floor.
And will carry be another proverbial speed bump today?
Good question. Let's find out. Oh, we almost had cake strats there for a second.
I was about to say, wow, just Rodney Dangerfield, no respect strats out the gate.
Sadly, that was corrected.
Yeah, it was. Getting some temper in our lives to swing. Up, never mind. The old one swing, done.
Yep. Yeah, so looks like the revisited fiends are, well, they don't seem to be too terribly pernicious today, which is nice.
It is actually. It's nice to have a palatable seed versus 3.5 hours of just dread. Kraken 2. We're gonna get a little bit of respect in our lives. Throw some invis up. There we go.
And some cake.
And some cake. Fast. And cake. There we go. I like it. A little bit of disrespect, you know. Listen, I dropped the white glove, so I will backhand you in the face.
Meanwhile, the good news is Kraken doesn't seem to be the usual gatekeeper, not hitting terribly hard.
Kraken is just chilling.
Oh, well, okay, I say that, and then the Black Mage gets completely smashed to pieces.
Yeah, but this knight's gonna take it out, and I mean, you've got some characters to bring it back up with life.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually smart walking up to the point and then bringing back that Black Mage.
Yeah. We'll note that we have our second finisher. Dang Wu has finished in second with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 20 seconds. So, GG Dang Wu. Dang Wu is another off-stream runner. But again, like I said, GG. Well done on the seed.
Gotta love it. As we see, Luffy took a few of these slimes. Not a bad decision. Want to make sure if you're gonna at least finish out the seed, knowing that you know you're not first place, you can just go through Topher and just get it done.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, in a weekly race like this, there's really, hopefully, not much stress anyway, because it's not a tournament competition. You don't risk elimination from anything. So, you know, it's one of those, you just kind of, you know, you race it, you have fun, hopefully you have fun, and just not, get too stressed out about results or anything. Just enjoy it, coast, have yourself a good old time, and have fun with the game.
That's it. Plus, nice, and also giving us some validation in our lives, Streaming for the people, so gotta give the people what they want, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of it all, there's roses being thrown out in the Coliseum for you afterwards, so.
I will note also, El Markin has finished in third place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, 32 seconds, and Dang Wu and company are raiding. So, hello, Dang Wu and Raiders, welcome. We are about to see ourselves a chaos fight on Caleb's screen.
Ooh, so getting some respect in our lives immediately. Boom, 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 maybe some temper, defense, temper as well, fast. All right, I like it. Also putting that knight into the third slot, the one that's the least targeted, getting some tempers. Getting up there, another round of temper, I say. Invis for the old boy. I believe a defense as well, so double evades and also some tempers in our lives as well. Miss and lock. Can't go home without it. That's right. Temper. Another temper. Now we're going to swing and give us some lock in our lives. Don't leave home without it. Okay, 2 hits, 197. That's respectable damage. Temper. What's the swing going to be? 8 hits, 14 and some change. Chaos is not due for this world. Rub. Who cares? 8 hits and some more change. One more swing should do it from the old boy. And GG's to Caleb at 1 hour, 35 minutes, and I think 58 seconds.
Official time is 1 hour, 36 minutes flat.
Oh, yeah, 1 hour, 36 minutes, excuse me.
Yeah. So, GG's to Caleb, who is our winner on stream, or at least the first finisher on stream, and fourth place overall.
GG's. Hopefully we can get Caleb in the booth. And Dangwu, if and you want to join the booth as well for an interview from the non-streamed perspective, feel free.
Yep, absolutely. Meanwhile, Luffy turned Lich 2 into a speed bump and is in the process of turning Carry 2, who apparently has nuclear. And
Cure 4. Oh, okay. So Carrie want to do some things in their lives, huh?
Oh, boy.
All right.
Yeah,
Carrie decided to... Go ahead.
Caleb just kind of breezed through all of this. We didn't see any of it from his side of things, unfortunately.
Still, though, we decided, hey, look, Carrie had their moment in the sun. But they are obliterated.
Check.
And it looks like we've got Caleb and Dangwu in the weights to join us. So hop on in the booth in whenever you feel.
Hey, buddy, GG.
Slimes from Kurito.
I almost
The All
forfeited.
Red Party. Ice 3. Ice 2.
You didn't find the Death Touch Germaduces?
Salcho 5. Ice 3.
Yeah, I found them several times.
The ices are coming.
In my Die of Sky Cave, and I was
Also
like,
note, Life
from,
Reboot
like, I
has
was, like,
finished in
steps
5th place
from
with an official SRL time of
Tail
1 hour,
Hawks.
37 minutes, and 25 seconds.
And
GG.
it was the first
The Life
V dungeon I
Reboot.
went to. As soon as I got Chime and Cube, I was like, that's where I'm going. And I was like level 13 to 15, somewhere in there. Like prime time to get the tail and get promoted. And I was like, I had a feeling it was the tail, and then when I went back there late... Like,
In some white shirt in our lives. Defense up for Kraken. Temper. And we're gonna miss. 9 hits, 256. Temper. We're gonna miss on that swing again. 269. Temper. When you've got temper at that and you just got charges to go, just temper your way to everything, you know? That's the way to go. Boom.
While Luffy was taking down Kraken 2, Thunderclawed finished in 6th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 23 seconds. So GG, Thunderclawed.
GG. Give me 1 second.
Alright, so Luffy has made his way over to the Tia 2 fight and getting defense sword up, and Tia has nuclear as well. Oh dear. Also using the white shirt to get a little bit of dodge in everybody's lives. So it's kind of unfortunate. So Luffy looks like came in on a different encounter table than Caleb did, because Caleb didn't see any of the stuff. But unfortunately, Luffy is. We are joined in the booth by Caleb and Dingwu. So GG Caleb, GG Dingwu. Congrats on the seed.
Thanks. Thank you, Karan. Appreciate it. GG's Dangwu.
GG's. Able to take down my epic rival for once after our many matches again.
Told you these group races don't count, Dangwu.
Oh, sorry.
1v1s only.
It was an interesting seed. Spells, magic. What was that again?
It was bad. The Death Touch Germaduces were a nice touch. Everything with Quad X was a nice touch, especially because I was like, I don't need Pro Rings, I'll get them later. And then everything had Death Touch or Quad X, and I was like, cool, I guess I should have bought them Pro Rings.
I don't think magic was too bad from the perspective of you had the necessary ingredients, life, and every life. Everyone equipped life. You had temper, and I mean,
Yeah.
I do understand that weapons weren't the greatest, but you found Masa. Katana was vanilla, so I mean, it was like you had the necessary stuff. You just wish you would have had the life twos. You wish you would have had the nukes. But I mean, this is a seed where if you would have had the nukes and the life twos, don't you think it would have been too easy anyway?
No.
No.
I don't mind. I like a level 1 nuke, a level 2 life 2 kind of seed. But you're not wrong, Duchess. The magic was there for the melee support. But like the only sweeper being Ice 2 until level 5 felt bad.
Yeah, that doesn't feel great.
Because so much resists ice or isn't susceptible to it, and then I was like, oh cool, a black shirt. I was like, I guess everybody's just casting Ice 2 for me. And then I think I found the Zeus Gauntlet, and that was a welcome sight. But yeah, I would have liked a Fire 3 or something, and I think that was promotion locked at 5. So
I guess that makes sense. So guess going off of that, speak to me about how I guess you took the early game approach because y'all definitely were at GG's by the way to Luffy as he just bodied chaos. Um
GG's, Luffy.
with an
but
seventh place
what
with an official SRL time of 1 hour 42 minutes 29 seconds.
G of G's. But yeah, speak to me about the early game because y'all were definitely both you Caleb as well as Luffy. Y'all were both proponents of the walking grind. And Dangu, I don't know what you did actually because you were off screen, but talk to us about that.
Well, with these flags and the shard hunt, I figure I'm gonna do the walking grind because the XP isn't too terrible once you start getting the key items rolling. So my strategy was just to get as many key items early as possible. So when I start going into places, I'll at least get XP because my party isn't going to be able to run from anything. And then like I just happened to take the gamble and canoe over to Crescent Lake and then immediately turn in the adamant for the floater. So that was nice. And I think that's where I sort of was hoisted by my own petard with the early airship because I abandoned everything that I was thinking about doing and went to all the places I shouldn't have been going to, trying to dig up the vendor item. And I got real excited about going into Sky because I was like, that's where my shards are going to be. There's like 54 boxes there. That's where they're going to be. And I was like, and I get an incentive item out of here. And the Quad X mummies weren't having it. And then the Death Touch Gurmedusas were pretty scary, especially because like they like to ambush. So I got away from them once, and then I was just down to my fighter Black Mage. I was like, all right, I should be okay. I'll just go check the incentive box, and I'll stop being greedy, and I'll warp out, and I'll save this progress. And I was like about to turn down the little asterisk to get in that bottom left room, and one Gurmedusa punched out my Black Mage, and I was like, well, I guess I can try to walk out. And then the next round, she just punched me in the face and killed me. I was like, cool. Well, I just lost 10 minutes, so that felt pretty bad. But so I was on the cusp of the dot forfeit right there, and then just kind of regrouped and went to sea and did Sky last. And yeah, the early game didn't feel terrible though.
Interesting. The salt is real, y'all.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though. I think the last seeds that I had been able to do as far as broadcasting were more in the Iron Gall category. So
Mhm.
I was sitting there watching this going, and I was thinking, I'm going, well, I'm glad I'm calming this, but I kind of wanted to play it too because it seems almost not really breezy, but it's definitely a little bit more of a Sunday stroll than the Iron Goal seeds that I've been so used to seeing of late.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these flags aren't like scary. Like the boss percents are like 33 to 300, so like it can it can get pretty nasty, but there is the off chance that you're just going to be able to brute force Topher. So
Yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I went at fighter, at BB, red mage, black mage, and I grinded on the ever scary manticores with the paralyzed touch in Ice Cave. So that was a good, very trying experience. My palms were sweaty the entire time.
Were your knees weak?
Yes, they were.
How were your arms feeling?
I actually got paralyzed a couple times. Luckily, I was broken out of it. It was good times. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend ever again.
It's interesting that you noticed the paralysis and with your arms getting heavy.
Mm-hmm. It was a good time. It was a good time. I had fun on Twitch. Just endlessly talking to myself. It was fun.
It's fine.
Side B.
I do want to note on Kirito's side, Kirito took down Tia and is only 7 shards away from being able to invade Topher. So getting pretty
Nice.
close on that side.
And they're gonna level up, which is awesome.
Ale's mentioning about the Twilight Party Pack. I ran into those too, and I said, maybe I'll try it. Nope, never mind.
Oh, I was
Nope.
throwing so many ice twos at those vampires.
I specifically laid out a bit of time to talk about how someone was spamming ice 2 in those vampires.
Yeah, it felt real bad. Just throwing ice cubes at them.
Well, it looks like Grindy's gonna take out Curry. Rocking the 2-man strats.
Yeah, Grindy's been doing this since he debuted in the spring tournament, and definitely kind of coming into his own with the party comp.
Hey, look, you can't knock it, because at some point that'll be like the GOAT squad.
Yeah,
Once you perfect it.
I'm terrible with the 2-man.
It's a science.
Yeah,
especially when you're rocking the black mage. Like even at level 50, that thing's got 400 and something HP. You know what I mean? So more power to you.
Yeah, I'm bad with the 4-man strat. So folks who can pull off the 2-man, I have more than ample respect for them.
So, having never stepped foot into the Earth Cave today, was Rod literally in the Earth box?
Yes.
You are correct.
Yep.
I figured it was that or Tail when I was going back into Sky at the end, and I was like, boy, I hope this is Tail, because I do not want to walk all the way through Earth to get Tail, because that was my win condition, because I knew I was going to be able to get through without being able to equip that Dragon 3 and Opal Shield 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you were the only one to go through the Locks chest in Marsh. So when we saw you pick up that Dragon 3, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, it felt pretty nice. And it just, like I said, it just kind of confirmed that I was gonna have to find the tail. And because I don't even think I found any, I don't think the flame armor rolled up. I don't think any fighter armor rolled up outside of the chain.
Not that I remember, no. Yeah, because the ice armor was -3, I believe.
Yeah, and the flame was -5, I think.
Yeah.
And I think steel was like -4. And silver, I think, was like -5. Like nothing was good. Ribbon was positive.
That was. Grindy's gonna take out some slimes, just get a few levels, I surmise.
Even these slimes were scary for me. They were hitting me for like 60 to 80.
But when you got a mage stick, it's blasting to pieces.
I don't know if I had it when I came here. If I did, I didn't remember to use it. Because I was definitely just throwing ice twos at them.
Yeah, I want to mention also, we are joined in chat by Luffy Divital. GG, Luffy.
Hey guys, GG, how's it going?
GG, Luffy.
Thanks, Caleb, man.
So, what did you think of the seed, all in all?
I mean, overall, I thought it was pretty good. The early game, I think I heard you guys say, wasn't extremely difficult, but I didn't have good levels in the beginning because I was trying to big brain everything. Once I found that floater, I was like, oh, here we go. And then everything is open. So I wasn't even getting any levels, so I ended up going to Sky. So I think I could have gone a little faster, but overall, I think the seed was pretty good. Killed some time in Waterfall. Feels bad, but what can you do?
Yeah, well, what we were seeing on stream was you and Caleb were basically pretty much keeping pace with each other vis-a-vis the shard count. So, and you guys were both kind of trying to do the walking grind as you were able to. So it seemed like y'all had a pretty good grasp on all the flags and how to handle everything, except maybe the Quad X mummies that the seed was throwing at you guys.
Oh man, they were everywhere too. That was gross.
Yeah.
They were.
I was grateful that I only saw one Medusa pack on the Lich floor. So I was worried.
What did they have?
The Death Touch.
Oh god, I missed that.
Yeah, so like I've been doing this quote unquote strategy since spring tournament that I'm not gonna hard reset. I'm just gonna soft reset. So I'll probably see different encounters than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes I don't know when it will pay out, but I know like in law of averages, it has to pay out. That everybody will see something and I won't, but more often than not, I just end up seeing the dumb stuff.
So,
Yeah.
Caleb, I will tell you one place where it did pay out for you was in Temple of Fiends Revisited, because you basically just skated through everything. And unfortunately, Luffy discovered nuclears. And what was it? Cure 4 on carry 2?
Yeah,
Yep.
she had Cure 4.
Wow. Yeah, I got the round 1 cake on Lich, and then carry 2 went down to a couple swings. Kraken wasn't scary once I got evasion capped. I think he just took out one of my black wizards. Tia was not scary at all, and Chaos I hit 3 times for like 1,000 damage, and it was like, all right, pretty good.
Yeah, I think Kraken had either a nuke or nuclear, and Tia had the same thing. And
Ugh.
Chaos wasn't so bad, but I mean, I don't know. I just knew that like when I got in there, my levels were okay. I was in like the low 20s, and I was gonna hit a few little grind on those slime tiles because they had real low HP. So like they were going down to a mage stick, no problem. But I don't know. I just decided I was like, you know what, I
Hey,
gotta just go.
Grindy found it. Rip.
Nope. Yes, he did.
I feel you, buddy.
Ouch. I'm glad I missed that.
It didn't happen to me in Topher, so that sucks. I feel bad for Grindy. It only happened to me in Sky.
Yeah, I guess I avoided that one altogether, even though I saw those nukes and nuclear and Topher. But I mean, I don't know what would have been worse.
Yeah, probably that. Because if I had seen like a nuke, my mages would have got blown up.
Yeah.
They didn't have more than like 280 health. My red mage maybe had like 350.
Yeah, I think I was about the same.
Yeah, nuke would have messed me up.
Yeah, I got lucky. I found 2 ribbons that helped,
Mhm.
after the fact, and those nukes and nuclears low rolled and didn't kill my thief or my black mage who had life. I just danned my white mage early on and just went 3-man with thief, red, and black.
Yeah, I kept the 4-man up. I thought like when we were still in the pre-time before the race, I thought about running red rainbow, and
Mhm.
I'm really glad that I didn't. Because like this could be fun. It's floor shuffle, and I was like, wait, no, it's not floor shuffle. I'm so used to shard hunt and floor shuffle being hand in hand.
That feels like the new meta right now.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of, in some sense, what we were talking about in comms was that was why this seed felt relatively, not like I said, not really breezy, but relatively peaceful, I guess, because
Mhm.
floor and entrance and town shuffle weren't throwing everything all over the place like we've had a lot of lately.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like Grindy's going back in, gonna give it another swing.
Hopefully, not find those Germeduses this time.
I know, and I mean, I would definitely heal up that black mage. You don't have that much HP to begin with, so
That touch don't care about HP, man.
nah, you right. You right.
Not when they're rolling 13 hits too.
Yeah.
Valve has never lied.
Did he find the Opal 1 bracelet? I think that
Not
was
sure.
Dwarf Armory.
I raided the armory, so I probably did, but I didn't have any to equip it, so I might have dropped it.
Oh, or maybe it was in Volcano. I can't remember.
Ooh, first turn Quake. There you go. You love to see it.
Oh, that makes. I was going to say, Caleb, you mentioned you got first turn cake in too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was first round. The
Okay.
first cake missed, and then I swung, and yeah, the Agamas rolled real big too. I think on my fighter hit one for like 500, and it still was standing.
Ouch.
Well, fortunately, 700 will take care of it.
Yeah, basically. Oh, he's
And a level
41.
41.
Yeah, he's got this as long as he can stay
Yep.
alive.
That's it. And he will, because the knight's gonna stay alive, and it's got life, so he'll be fine. All right, y'all. Well, I mean, you're more than welcome to stay with us for the rest of the broadcast. Otherwise, if you have any other words, feel free to drop them. But we are here committed to y'all to bring you the entirety of this stream until everyone's not done it.
I appreciate you guys stepping up and doing broadcast crew for the race. It's always it's always fun to hear you guys do commentary. I have to go back and watch the VOD.
Oh, of course.
Watch the beginning. It was crazy.
And by crazy, Dutch means he sung an intro, and it was. I was about to roll out of my chair and
Man, I'm definitely gonna go back and watch that for sure.
That's beautiful.
It was anything but beautiful, but still.
Hey, I enjoyed it.
I've heard you've been called the songbird of our generation, Duchess.
That's the greatest honor I've ever had in my entire life. which is great and also sad and a whole nother.
I mean, he's got that silky smooth voice for the airwaves, man. Everybody loves Duchess on comms.
Just gotta let us know that we're listening to the Quiet Storm, and we'll be all right.
The Quiet Storm that is Duchess for Kyle Sama, yo. Oh my god, there's so many like ironies in that statement, but
we got to get you a soundboard with like a little thunder rumble.
You are now listening to. It's like, nah.
The Quiet Storm. But no, I appreciate you guys doing commentary. I appreciate Jay Scheidel doing the tracking and Dwight stepping up doing the restream for his first time. So it seems like it went off without a hitch. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that too. I really appreciate you guys. Duchess stepping up tonight. I was gonna maybe do comms, but Duchess swung in there and hooked me up so that way I could run the race. So I appreciate that. And Jay Scheidel and Dwight, much respect to you guys as well. And of course you, Karant. Can't leave you out.
I appreciate it. It's been a fun race to get back into the booth. I don't have a lot of opportunities of late, but it's fun to see you guys race and have fun with the seed that's designed for a nice weekly stroll of sorts, I suppose. Stroll through Death Touch mummies and green I mean, hey, we got to get everybody in on the stroll. We here at the Final Fantasy Randomizer want equality for all, even if they are all trying to death touch us.
It's always great having you in the booth, Karant.
Oh, I'm glad I could be here. Also, I will note, Shadowed Flames has just finished in 8th place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 36 seconds.
Hey,
GG.
Hey, GG, Shadow.
That's awesome.
Now we've got ourselves a back road. Oh, it don't matter because we just completely destroyed Kraken. So
yeah,
get you some heal pots in your life, son, and you'll be back to life, as they say. The last gatekeeper, Tiamat. Fast. Defense. Nuclear. We're alright. We ate that for breakfast, baby. Radioactivity, that's nothing. Temper in our lives. Thinking about it. Swing. Lock. 3 hits, 116. Let's get some lock in our lives. Don't leave home without it. And a bit more lock in your life. That's it. Give us a swing. What will missed? Give us a swing. 794. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, don't leave home without lock. You need it. You love it. It's got to be in your life. Just like Wheaties in the morning. And we have another chaos. We're going to get some defense in our lives. Some fast. And, okay. So, we're going to get smacked around a little bit, but we're all right. Temper in our lives. Fire 3. Nothing to worry about. A bit more temper. Nope, ain't hitting me. Defense. Swing. Lock. Don't leave home without it. Miss. 1327. There we go.
Yeah.
Why not throw another temper? One more swing, and I believe chaos will be no longer with us in this world. GG's to Grandylicious with an official time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, and whatever seconds. I don't know. I'm not good at the seconds part, but
10 seconds.
there we go. 10 seconds.
Hey, I've got an eye on SRL. No worries.
Excellent. It ain't over until they dot done.
All right. So, as far as remaining runners, we have 3 left. We have Kirito on stream, and then Will Bloodworth running a solo thief, and Darren Dries as well. We've got 3 folks left, and we might wake up tomorrow morning and Will Bloodworth may still be running this seed with solo thief. But hey.
Hey, look, shout outs to Danny for making sure Will was not on the feature stream. Huge shout outs because I was not up for the solo thief here for 5 hours and change. I'll have to change out Earl Grey teas and whatnot. We're not doing that today, guys. So
Now to be fair, the featured runnership on a weekly race was a volunteer sort of thing. And so when Will got here, 4 people had already volunteered. So it wasn't so much that Will got gatekeeped. It was just that he didn't get here in time. That's all.
We love you, Will. We do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just joshing. All right, looks like Kirito's doing some last minute shopping, particularly for that night before diving into Temple of Fiends Revisited. Obviously, a good thing to do, unless you forget that knights can't get level 4 white magic, but
no,
red mages can.
Yep. When you've got 3 red mages, you just split it around. Oh, plenty. Well, Corrido's going to get some good airtime as we watch them on their quest to take down Chaos.
Yep, Kirito, we're all rooting for you.
Absolutely. So while we've got a bunch of people in the booth, any fun flags y'all looking forward to seeing? Because I mean the alpha has become pretty stable now. So any flags y'all particularly interested in, seeing more of, rather than just being necessarily iron goals, maybe making their way into more like of the proper meta and stuff? I feel like that's a good question.
I love burst classes. I know that some folks aren't the biggest fan of it, but I love it. I also am a big fan of shuffled Astos. I love it so much. You go to turn in the herb, and it was Astos all along. You go to talk to the robot, and it was Astos all along. It's so good.
All right,
Especially because like Wild Ham put in like special dialogue boxes for all of them. It's really cute. Like when he's the robot, it's like beep boop. You saw through my disguise. I was Astos, and then you fight the robot. It's a lot of fun.
I do want to slip in before I tossed my incredulous question your way. Darren Dries just finished in 10th place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 28 seconds.
GG.
GG, Darren.
GG.
What about you, Luffy?
I mean, I'm still pretty new. I've only been around like less than 2 months. So I mean, I'm enjoying any new flag that I can play. Free Enterprise seems like a lot of fun. I like the idea of only having grind tiles to be able to get your levels, so it makes it really, really fast, which I think is fun. I do like Shuffled Astos too. That's definitely pretty fun. But anything that's kind of like coming around now, like Floor and Entrance Shuffle, obviously very new to me. I'm just enjoying playing anything I can kind of wrap my head around and just kind of soak it all in, because I just want to keep improving and just get better.
Nice.
Yeah.
So my quick incredulous question: did you say blurst classes?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That
There's
is
a couple.
fun.
There's a couple different ways you could play. It's in the experimental section on the beta.
Mm-hmm.
You can have up to anywhere from 1 to 4 bonuses, where like maybe your fighter can equip the X-Cal right away. Maybe he has an extra 1% hit per level. Maybe he can cast ninja magic. Right, like he gets little bonuses, and like it's for all the classes. All the classes get their own unique bonuses per seed, but there's also malices, and they can have anywhere from 1 to 4 malices, and those malices could be, oh, you can't equip bracelets, which might be fine for a fighter, but when your thief or your mages can't wear bracelets, it becomes really tricky to equip them with any sort of meaningful gear. Or maybe your white mage can't equip a ribbon or things like that. So there's the bonus and malice way to play with blurst classes, as well as chaos mode, which basically just hacks the game and turns all of the classes into new things where everything is different, like their equipment permissions, their spell casting permissions, how fast they get spell charges. The chaos mode, Thunder made the joke a couple days ago. We were hanging out in voice chat running a race. He made the joke that you need a master's degree to figure it out, and he's not wrong. Like when you go to look at the way your character rolled, and it's like my hats are A, my chest pieces are C. What? So just trying to like there's a document. Yeah, there's a document in the Discord resources that help explain it, but it's real nice. They're real fun to play with, and when you have like your black mages, ooh, there's Credo finding the death touch.
Oh.
When you have like your black mage with black belt vitality, and that black mage has got like 600 HP, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'd like to see Blurst maybe in a tournament. I don't know if we could potentially do chaos mode because I think it's a bit still too wonky. But I'd love to see Blurst in like a major tournament actually, because I think it adds a good degree of skill to the game. Because I think we're at a point now where like even with just soft shuffles, you know the game as long as black belts are available.
Mhm.
Like even if you lock out a class, you know the game. But having Blurst gives you just another bit of randomness that you have to negate through, as well as the game itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the idea of blurst classes with party draft before the seeds rolled, so you can't like see what your class is going to get. Like with the standard blurst, like you're going to get your fighter's going to be your fighter. Like it's going to be able to equip most everything that it can equip. It might just lose the ability to equip a ribbon, a pro ring, or bracelets, or might only be able to equip like red mage armor or something like that. But I like the idea of mixing it in with drafting, because then it's just like, well, we're in this together now. Like we're both forced to run this mess together. Yeah, Grindy in chat. Yeah, all your people. They're terrible. Just deal with it. But maybe that's why nobody races with me anymore during the day.
Yes, we've all learned your wily ways, and we steer clear of them.
I don't know, Caleb. I think you do some fun stuff during the day when I'm off of work and I can join in.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, Carito, I want to see you get through this.
Got away from the frost. These.
No Garmadusas.
Please.
Big money, no whammies, no whammies.
I used to love that show, by the way, even though it was before my time.
It's a fitting metaphor for the randomizer. Just press your
Mhm.
luck. What's it gonna be?
And most of the time, you're definitely gonna get that little monkey thing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you had it all, but not anymore, bro. Sorry. No one feels bad for you, either. That's the best part about it, because no one felt bad about anyone when you got that little whammy thing. It's just like, oh, we were hoping to see it, but we're gonna act like we hate to see it. Now I like it. Kirito's pulling out the Rodney Dangerfield. Absolutely no respect strats. Just hold A and be like, come on, son, are you serious? So, ooh, also throwing out some of the heal staff. I like it. Get some heal in your life, an extra 14 points or so. Does negate this ice too. So all the jokes I was saying actually came to naught.
It's like Lich was listening to you.
Seriously. So we're going to. Those Agamas rolled. So I don't know if you do what you do. You have the floor.
He's gonna find out.
Mm-hmm.
He
These
may
Agamas
have missed
rolled,
them.
bro.
Yeah, he may have missed them in the volcano.
It's like you might spend more time on these Agamas than you will carry, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nah. You're actually that monster should clean it up. Menuing showing it's showing in flexing because menuing is not a joke. I said earlier, the biggest boss to people just starting out on FFR is definitely the world map and then probably menuing.
I'm still fighting the walking boss.
No, I was gonna say I'm still. I mean, you probably saw in the tournaments, like in the January Duckling Derby and Spring Tournament. I was fighting the world map boss. I was fighting him with B Select. In fact,
Yeah, the world map boss for me is no joke. Like that thing took me so long to finally figure out. And then after the world map, you also have to finesse the dungeons and make sure you're taking advantage of the proper tiles, the ones in front of the doors, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a science. I don't know how I have this information and also still have the information to like be able to do the Nidoran manip in Pokemon Red. Like I'm just too much of a nerd. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
well, I was gonna say I've been doing some pretty serious nerding out to warp strats and egg grinds and such for the last month. So don't worry, we've all got our nerds. It's just sometimes they're different colors and different flavors.
That's it. Got ourselves a carry. Thinking about no respect, but nah, we're gonna throw a little bit of temper in our lives. Fast. Okay. And heal 2. All right. You want that 16? And you see our early cure 4. That's actually pretty good to see. Nuclear is not going to be an issue. One more swing should do it, to be honest. And
Yep, there you
there
go.
is toast. We move on.
And mercifully, we move away from those green Medusas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I surmise the rest of the seed should be pretty good for Karita. They've got a strong foundation now. All the red mages can pretty much support the knight. Water making a show on the screen. Understand you are 72% water, they say. Shout outs to H2O. Where would we be without it?
Corito is not a hydro homie. He
Hydro
ran
homie.
so fast from those
He
waters.
did. Gonna get some heals in our lives. Looking pretty good. Now we're definitely gonna respect Kraken. Going to throw out some temper. Gonna throw up a fast and heal 2. Oh, heal -2, excuse me. And shout outs to 5 HP on that red mage from the hill. Woo. Throw out some lock 2. Definitely can't leave home without it. Double lock 2. That's what I like to see. Should be a swing and 654. Ooh. Give us more of that 7 HP. All right, we're not going to see 7 HP on the screen, but we are going to see Kraken be done. Feeling pretty good. Got a bunch of lives. So go ahead and take advantage of 12 lives at your disposal. Heal 3 it up. That might be the best. No, that's not bad play. Get you some heal pots in your life. And now we will see Tia. You got this, Korea. Get some temper up. A bit of fast. Lock 2. Lock 2. Maybe a temper. Heal 3. Good turn orders so far. Take a dirt nap, Red Mage.
That poor red mage has been taking a lot of dirt naps of late.
Mm-hmm. But it does its job. Every time it just gets blown to oblivion, the knight seems to body the fiend. So, and
All right.
Corito's a fan of going to the left for chaos. Gonna get ourselves a life. Get this party in action. Make sure everyone's ready to go, because we
Hey.
will be done in chaos after this.
Hey, Corito has his life too. I guess that was for sale on OnRack. I never checked that shop.
Yeah, it was for sale at level 7. So
Yeah, I saw Fade and Nuke in the bottom slots in Gaia, and I was just like, well, that's cute.
Yeah, they were. I noticed they were right next door to each other. I'm like, oh, they could even be holding hands. Hello, you wanted real powerful magic? I'm sorry, we're taking a vacation this evening.
Ooh, fog
So we're
2.
gonna, that's what I'm saying. We're getting proper respect as even the knight is going to invis using its one level 1 charge. So seeing some interesting strats. Lock 2. I see why. I believe the defense sword is on one of the red mages. So
Yeah, he didn't move it over.
it'd be like that, but we all know chaos ain't really doing nothing. So already
Yeah.
getting 10 hits, 698. This shouldn't be too gruesome. Another lock 2, more lock 2. And lock 2. Yep, we'll be fine.
Yeah, this is where if you're watching this like your newer runner, you should, if you know about how many hits your Masa should be getting, you should switch from the locks to the tempers, because our evasion is bottomed out. We're getting max hits with the Masa, so Credo should switch to the tempers here. These extra locks aren't gonna do much more help for them.
But
With
we
10
all
hits be
learn.
the max swings.
Yeah. Well, it's not gonna.
Got it.
Yeah, because his fighter's only got 5 hits on the Masa, so
Got it. With
I
fast,
don't.
then doubled.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think he hit 32 for that break point,
Mm.
or 34 or whatever it is. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like I try to keep track when I'm, playing my own seeds. Like you get an idea how many hits your guy should have, and once you've got that on consistently, you start dumping the tempers. But he's gonna have no problem with this.
Mm.
It's a bit of a roundaway approach, but still it does the same effect.
Yeah.
And the armor and the fog 2's definitely working out. And GG.
Yeah, there it
Korea
is.
done.
GG's.
GG's, Kirito.
And that is with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 22 seconds. So GG Kirito.
Excellent.
All right, so that'll finish it up for all of our runners on stream. We do have the intrepid Will Bloodworth with the Single Thief still busy taking care of business in off stream, or at least off restream land, but everybody on stream is done. So GG's to all. We'll see if Kirito wants to join us for an interview, and maybe we could pick their brain about the seed a little bit before everybody goes off to get some sleep.
I salute you, Will Bloodworth. But I will not watch you, I'm not gonna lie. Well, this was a great seed. Everyone finished, and that's also cool to see as well. Like, love to see a seed where everyone finishes. Even there's nothing on the line, so it's all about having fun. And no one got no one got tilted enough to be like, oh, I'm done. We did hear that the salt was real earlier, and there was almost a moment, but no one got extra tilted to the point where they just forfeited. So you feel good about that. Seriously, like that's also good to know. Like you finished the seed, everyone didn't. You feel good about yourself, and then you go to sleep being like, oh yeah, I beat the game again.
Well,
Right.
I will note there are a couple of people who did have to step aside from the seed, but they at least did not exhibit any signs of saltiness. So
Yeah. Oh, okay, sweet. Sometimes it just be like that. We are adults, adulting, and y'all all know what that does in a lifetime. So.
all right, we are joined in the booth by the intrepid solo thief himself, Will Bloodworth. Hello, Will.
Hi, how's it going? I'm hunting down a power glove.
Ooh, you will find it at some point. I will tell you that much.
Will I? I've
Yes, you
pretty much full cleared everywhere that isn't in TOF. So if that bodes for, yeah. Well, wait,
you will
don't tell
find
me.
it at some point.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I didn't realize we were an NPR station.
That's good. That's good. I am. Oh, that's a piece. Yeah, I don't remember. Like I've pretty much full cleared every dungeon that I can think of,
That
including
is
Lock
some
Marsh.
speed.
Hey, GG, Garrido.
GG.
GG.
Thanks, guys.
How'd you feel about the seed?
Not too bad, other than like one game over.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
at least you got to see the Death Touch Garmadusas.
Blessings for everyone.
By the way, I did see those already. That gave me nightmares.
Yeah, they're less than ideal.
No, they're not great. Suboptimal, I'd say. Yeah.
I love that. They're less than ideal.
Mhm.
I just literally got in a fight with one, so
One's all you need. It's wipe my party with just one Garmadusa.
you only need one.
I think I got ambushed by them.
Yeah, they weren't pretty.
No, it's a bad enemy to have Death Touch. Probably one of the worst. Like Kraken
sure.
2 is probably another.
Well,
Can't
I'm
believe
gonna.
my first red mage on my roll died twice in the refights.
Yeah. Well, GG's to everybody. I'm gonna head out of here. Duchess, Karan, thank you again for doing the comms, and Jay Scheidel with the tracking, and Dwight with the restream. I gotta go. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Later, Caleb.
GG, Caleb.
GGK, Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a pretty good segue, being as though we have definitely hogged the broadcast for quite a bit. And first of all, I want to shout out to Randomania. Always coming through with the interesting randos, whether it's Pokemon Crystal Rando, whether it's OG Zelda randos, whether it's freaking Metroid Cross, Link to the Past randos, or ours truly FFR rando, excuse me, FF rando, not FFR rando. Regardless, we are extremely thankful. I will give everyone who's in the booth the floor to say what they want to say.
And silence reigns.
I'm about to go into Topher, so I'll let everybody else talk.
Oh, good luck, Will.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say GG's everybody. Thank you again to Duchess and Karan for the comms tonight, Scheidel for the tracking, and Dwight for the restream. Everybody that came out and raced, that was a heck of a lot of fun. Look forward to doing it again. So thank you very much.
No problem. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.